Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Steve and Alan diving in again. Almost daily, but always sharp. He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Steve and Alan, almost daily. Laughs and facts, served up plainly. Your dose of wit, it's never shady. Steve and Alan, almost daily.
Well, hello, and welcome to Stephen Allen Almost Daily. We're here. I'm Stephen Allen. It's a Tuesday, so that's a day. That almost counts. Still got it. Still got the old... More on that later. And also, in case you've never watched this before, I should say, it's the news/newspaper review streaming show that covers more news stories than any other, because we don't really spend enough time to get anything worthwhile out of any story. We just review it and move on. Very much like the tabloid that it effectively is. Your comments, if you're watching this live, are very much welcome on youtube.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen. We should get into the thing. We should do the comments in a section, in a second. It's busy. I just wanted to say... they've already noticed I didn't have time to even say hi in the comments until just then. Busy trying to get it all sorted. I've not loaded up the front pages properly, but still a bit ill. The man flu's caught me. I was in town earlier and I actually bought some Fisherman's Friends. And can we just address that issue? They knew what they were doing, didn't they? If you are making a product that people will indeed suck, don't pretend that you've been trolled by people saying, right, sucking on a Fisherman's Friend. Aye. You knew it. And you were right. Because we talk about those, you try and do a rude joke about Hall's Soothers. Exactly. I can't even think of the other ones because they're not famous. So it does mean if you've got a product on the market, try and name it something that's a bit rude. If you've got to release a new suppository on the market, call it Michael Barrymore. No, that's too much, isn't it? It's too much that. Shouldn't have done that joke. But you doing all right, mate? Yeah, no, I've had a Michael Barrymore at me. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what's happening in the comments. It's already busy in there. So, yes, I was preparing my news stories. Chris Hood points out I have round-ended scissors. How very dare you. I'm a full grown-up. Boom. But then by that, I say full grown-up. They're tiny little scissors. What else is happening? Steve's desperately finishing up cutting his articles. It says proper memes. Yes, this is the preparation I do. This show's called Lammy, Cosby and Fish, and Real Beastie says it sounds like... Oh, the proper meme says it sounds like an American folk group, and Real Beastie was here. Nice. Says it sounds like you got to add young into it as well. I thought it sounded more like a law firm. I hope not. Not with what I'm going to say about him. Joodles is here. Afternoon. I love the camp hand AI created for that stand-up in the intro video. Well, you would do because you made it. And an angler's pal. You're right. Is that how you do it? I don't want to mention too many brands on the show. So I should say I was a little ill this week. It's okay. Before the performance, I have sucked on an angler's pal. Has that made it worse or better? Anyway, let's look at the front pages. I say that knowing I've not loaded them in properly. Oh, let's play the jingle.
Here are today's front pages.
No. Oh, there we go. Let's find out. Oh, no, it kind of fits. It's not Beastie. Oh, Bestie. Sorry. It's exactly not what you want to be called, isn't it? It's the opposite in some ways. Right. Can I shrink that down? No. I'm going to make your front pages look that little bit better before we crack on. Having said that, it's the I, so no one really cares. The I goes with mansion tax will cause Labour a world of trouble in budget, warns top economist. This is, and if we can zoom in, we can see, if your home is worth more than £2 million, you face an extra $4,500 on your council tax. And I was thinking, who is likely to have a house that's worth $2 million? And I think it's top economists. Because if you've worked, look, you've got to make some money. You're in economisting. And if you're pretty good at economisting, you're going to rise to the top. You're going to get paid well. You're going to be rewarded. And so you should. And then you end up having a nice big house. And then people say to you, what do you think Rotary should do with tax? And it's weird, isn't it? They keep advising against taxing top economists. More on that later. I'd say that. We're not going to talk about that at all. I'm avoiding the budget like you wouldn't believe. Just the front page of the Telegraph. Just wanted to mention this picture of Melania Trump. She's huge. Did not see that coming. I know he keeps saying Donald Trump says he's tall, but this is like the attack of the 50-foot woman. Either that or the little soldier back there. He's tiny. Look at this guy. Look at this guy behind him, hiding behind the wall. Whee! No wonder he's hiding. She's flipping massive. I think I'd probably stay back there. She's massive and she doesn't look happy. She never looks happy. Front page of the... Better try and shrink this one back down to normal size. Front page of the Times goes with a few stories that barely... The unmissable 5-star art show. Wrong. I'm going to miss it. Nuclear fish disco. Have you seen this story down here? This is amazing, really. More than £700 million is being spent at Hinkley Point C, the nuclear power station, on environmental measures to save an expected 0.083 salmon. That's not even enough for a snack, is it? And 0.028 sea trout per year. Okay, so you give it a couple of years and that really doesn't tot up, does it? You give it 10 years and you've saved 0.83 of a salmon. So in 100 years, and we could go through the maths on this, it's still not many. It's not many salmon, is what I'm saying. It's a ridiculous amount of money, and we're about to get taxed more. So how about I'll make you this deal, Rachel Reeves? You save that money, you put it back in the coffers, and I promise to not eat one of the salmon I was going to eat this year. I don't get through loads, but I get through enough. And I'll, maybe I've got to have egg and salmon. Oh, no, I didn't. I promised Rachel Reeves. I'll just have eggs. There you go. We've scored an absolute normal amount. You're in profit. If anything, you're up on the salmon. I am fixing the world's problems left, right, and centre here. Oh, and this is the front page of the Mirror. Any more Vlad Apple's Nigel? What I liked about this story is Nigel Farage was last night facing mounting pressure to investigate pro-Putin links in reform. Is he? Is he not under more pressure for other stuff? I'm looking at a lot of the news about him, and he seems to be talking about what he did at school. I'm not going to comment too much on that story. I very much enjoy getting paid when I do get paid by them. I will say this. If someone said something a little bit wrong when they were in their teens, and when they're older, they don't say that anymore, it's kind of fitting that they've come up with the word reform. You know what I mean? You've got to do something wrong in the past if you want reform to really be your brand name. So, yeah. Right, let's see what's happening in the comments again. We're so missing the side cam at this point. The side cam for new viewers. There is one on order. I'm ordering it from China, of course I am. I ain't paying VAT. Obviously people who own big buildings should pay tax. Me, not so much. So I'm getting it's good. If you listen to yesterday's audio only version of the podcast, I gave some hints about how good it is. It's AI. Ooh. I don't know if that's good or it might actually try and take over the show. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Could be worse. It could be beast. Oh, let's not. What? You get away. The real bestie says nuclear fish disco is my what 3 words address. Don't say that. I'm going to track you down. Proper means 2 martinis already. That's an early start. And but Chris, he needs to comment here, doesn't he? It takes 3 weeks to deliver from China. And you're right. This can't be coming from China because it should be arriving in 3 days' time. I think it's probably just coming from like somewhere in the UK, but on the cheapest delivery option I could go for. Thank you. Thank you. Not my fault. If you would have given more money on the Ko-fi, I might have bought something good. Be right back, says, oh, Bestie's gone. If you want to talk about Bestie, now's your time to do your bestiality jokes. Proper Meme says, where did Nigel had a roof terrace date with Vlad? Putin on the Ritz. Is that what it's come to? My chair's quite far back today, isn't it? Before we cover the news, I wanted to talk about something that it was in the news on, I think we talked about either on the radio show, All Hit Radio, 1 o'clock every weekday. I don't know if it made it into a podcast, but there was a news story about how Black Friday, not a thing. So I'm sure I remember typing that. Black Friday's not a thing. Just stop pretending it's a thing. It's not a thing because we're not American, so it's not a thing. Shut your face. Oh, when do you work it out? It's the first Friday after Thanksgiving. Not a thing over here. It's just another way to try and flog rubbish. And no one falls for it. All the coverage these days will be like people walking into an empty shop because Black Friday's not a thing. However, it does mean more people get scammed. And there was a thing, it was in the radio show. The news story said Black Friday is like Christmas for scammers because they actually make more money at Black Friday by scamming than they do at Christmas. So actually, it's not like Christmas, is it? Black Friday is like Black Friday for scammers. What a waste of a news story. But I then got a spam email that day. Plus, also, there's a clip if you look online of me doing the Chinese accent. But if that's what you're into, you can go and find it. Here is, will it fit? I've got an email from some, all right, we'll try and load it up. It doesn't quite work. So this is an email I got from Sandra, who says, I can't scan across, can I? Well, that's too small to flipping well read. I am full of energy and love, says Sandra. My dream is to find love. I thought you already had it. Already, I think you're lying to me, Sandra. I'll read it. Okay, the one on the screen's not great. I'll read the original from over here. Where's Sandra? I filed it under probably not spam. Love does not know ages, right? She says. That's worrying. That's the kind of rolling the pitch on a very awkward conversation. Do you also not sweat? Anyway, she said, I am the perfect age to find love and to concentrate on my man. I am experienced enough to make, and then it says, you see, it says there, to make a main happy. She's M-A-N-E. Well, you've come to the wrong flipping place, Sandra. I'm feeling worse about myself now. You thought you were trying to flirt with me, and now you've reminded me that I'm old and bald. Silly. Anyway, well, there you go. So there's the spam. If you'd like to email me at mrstephenallen.co.uk is the email address for this podcasty thing. All right, let's get back into the main dish. Here it is.
Let's get inside the news.
Clear my throat there. We can start looking at some of the news stories. I've got an absolute pile to go through. We can start with this. Let's go big screen on it. BBC is not biased, says BBC advisor. They're not even pretending, are they? Let's see if I can fit that under there. The BBC is not institutionally biased and author of a leaked memo on impartiality that the corporation has said. Yeah, and we get a pen for this as well. Have I got a good... Oh, yeah, here's my pen. Because I'll read you what he said. So this is the Michael Prescott, the leaked memo that kicked it all off. And do they not have enough self-awareness to not do their own stuff on this? It looks like you're marking your own homework. So Mark said, at the most fundamental level, hang on, underline it, at the most fundamental level, the BBC kept getting worse. Now, if you look at it, you'll realise what I've actually done is at the most fundamental level, the BBC kept getting worse. I've put together a quote from other things he said. But he said it, and it's not like I'm the first one to do that, is it, BBC? How'd you like them apples? Another story before we get in the chat thing. £380 million on gift for Fido. Brits are spending more on their dogs than friends, aunts, uncles and cousins this Christmas. And yes, I'll tell you why. You have a stronger bond with your dog. Then, look, I've got some friends who are kind of close friends, but I wouldn't let them lick my face. I certainly wouldn't let them lick my face if they just lick their own business. I wouldn't follow my best friend around a park with a bag picking up his poo. Ever again. So I think really what you learn there is we are closer to the dogs. Let's not even pretend it. To your cousin as well. You spend more on your dog than your cousin. Yeah, because you see your actual dog all the time, don't you? Although you are technically allowed to marry your first cousin. You're not allowed to marry a dog. Wouldn't recommend either. Hashtag just saying. Here's a news story. The UK is a nation of phonies who hide behind fake smiles and new... Well, you need a study for that for. Of course you do. More than 7 in 10 Brits flash fake grins at work colleagues. Yeah, because you're at work. Why are they finding this to be in any way surprising at all? I have one of those faces where people think I'm in a bad mood when I'm not. I don't know what the male version is. Obviously, it's RBF for women, is it? Resting, can't say the word on here, face. I don't know what the male version is. Resting dick face, maybe. I don't know. But I've got the kind of face where people literally say, you're right today. What? You look like you've been in a mood. Well, I wasn't until you said that. I've had people genuinely say the cliche, cheer up, might never happen. It did already, you were born. So I know exactly the pain, the effort one has to go through to make your face look like you're happy to be working with your work colleagues. Stop dobbing us in surveys. Put enough work onto that. All right. Resting Steve face, says Proper Memes. It is, isn't it? You know, this is just me resting, thinking happy thoughts on the inside. Are you ready? Apparently that looks like I'm in a mood. The eye flare that's too much. I think what it is I'm an introvert. We're allowed to be that, people. Chris Hood says my spelling is off too. I don't know what that's a good, whatever. I see the joke there, but I just don't see what it's referred to. Live and loose Black Friday. Interesting thing. Web Squirrel says hard drive check. What the woman who says age is just a number. Charlotte's here. Sorry, late on parade. Hi everyone. Hi. Yeah, it is. Chris can't spell Charlotte, save his life. Chris could do with sorting out his chat latency. Are you saying that my chat doesn't realise it's homosexual? I'm not disagreeing. Read your emails before you go. I've got more emails. Have you sent something? No. All right. Well, thanks for that. I thought you might have sent something. Me at mrstephenallen.co.uk. Can take a while to come through from there. All right. Keep the comments coming. Let's get back into the news. There's too much to get through here. This one. Oh, that's two stories. Did you see it? This is a right-wing politician sparked outrage by wearing a burqa in Parliament, but it's in Australia, so before you get too excited. But there she is. Very much wearing the footwear that I believe goes with that outfit. But this is because, and let's get the details. Pauline, mate, it's truth, of the populist One Nation Party was seeking to introduce a bill in the Australian Senate which would outlaw the full face coverings. They didn't go for it, so she turned up in one, and then they said, you can't wear that. And she was like, exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But my favourite thing about this story, it's the second time she's wore the Muslim clothing in the Senate. In 2017, she wore a burqa to highlight what she said were security issues that it posed. And that means she's had this outfit in the wardrobe since 2017. We've all had things in the wardrobe where you're like, when am I going to wear that again? Should I take that to a charity shop? Shirts where you think, I never really enjoyed it. It still fits. So she would have had that just hanging up there thinking, when am I next going to get to wear this? And I suppose, should I take it to a charity shop is answered like, no, you shouldn't. That's going to look well weird when you turn up to a charity shop and that's the thing in your back. So I found that. I thought that was amusing. Bless her. Finally got to get a second wear out of it. I like this. In health news, one-stop shops for all health. Hundreds of NHS one-stop shops will be unveiled in the budget to slash waiting times. I like this an idea. Instead of having your dentist, your GP, your nurse, your pharmacist separate all over the shop, they're in one shop. Brilliant. Certainly GPs and pharmacists should be linked. Why do I have to walk over the road for that stupid thing? But the idea of having a dentist and a GP, like, you could get it all done at the same time. Get your teeth checked, have a prostate test at the same time, because they're not, they both only need one end of you, don't they? Get you up on the ramps. You could be in and out in one appointment and have absolutely everything done. Instead of, I need an appointment for this, need an appointment for that. You could get it done in an hour, have everything you need all sorted, pop a little manicure in there as well, why don't you? And you'd finish, your holes would be slightly wider for like a week, and then it'd all settle, and you'd be fighting fit. This is literally the best news story the cleverest thing anyone's found for ages. Of course it won't happen. All in one. Perfect, yeah. And you're done. Steve got there before me, did I? What, you should have queued up earlier for it. What? Up on the ramps. That's how you do it, isn't it? You can get the full works done. You can certainly get serviced. Hey. All right. Scanners detects shop loot in undies. This is the story that fashion giant Next has bought AI-driven scanners which can spot stolen goods stashed in bras and pants. And what I think about this story is, it used to be the job of a security guard to look at your bras and pants, and AI has taken that away. And I've often thought, if AI replaces us, does it replace us in ways that we get to keep the fun jobs and it does the horrible work? Not according to this story. So just spare a thought for someone who wanted a simple dream, an honest dream. They wanted to be a security guard, so every so often they could look and go, they look a bit, right? You don't get many of them to the pound. And then you'd have an excuse to, and now that's been taken away by AI. Thank you, John Connor. Who's moaning here then? Web Squirrel. I'm just back from a painful gastroscopy. I hope they can clean the cameras after the colonoscopy. Yeah, that's true. You want them in the right order, don't you? Good point, well made. It's not the camera that hurts. It's the guy with the boom mic and the lighting that really hurts on its way in. Fantastic. Now, Proper Means is going to be upset because he thinks I didn't finish his joke earlier, but I did finish Web Squirrels. If you need a day off from work, just measure your temp in alley. What? And if you don't feel sick, then, yeah, you're saying, if the chat didn't let you use that word, I don't know if I should say it on here. Which is odd. This seems like the kind of web show where we do use that word quite a lot. How did Next find out where I keep my goodies? They stole my idea. It's because you still had the coat hanger in it. That's, yeah, it's got a little hook and just... I would go and fetch a coat hanger because you know they're just over there, but it's too much effort, isn't it? All right, keep the comments coming through. Oh, it's about time we do this story. Funniest story of the day. Lammy lauded sex pest Cosby. Deputy PM David Lammy made another embarrassing gaffe. David Lammy made an embarrassing gaffe, you sure? Doesn't sound like the kind of thing he's done every single week since getting the job. He's also, we should remember, David Lammy is the best person to bring up when people are saying about whether sitting politicians, should they be allowed to broadcast. He did. LBC did it first. He was talking about this is International Men's Day. Who are your role models? Now, it's slightly under 50% of the population are men because we don't live as long and we die more. But anyway, so you've roughly, 8 billion people on the planet? So roughly 4 billion to pick from. It'd be rude to pick yourself. So it's slightly lower than 4 billion people to pick from. And I would say out of all of those, name any of them as your role model, there's just a couple that you'd automatically to know not to go for. And he went there in the same way that the mastermind thing, when he was asked who succeeded Henry the Seventh, or whatever he goes, Henry the Sixth. Come on, there's only a handful of wrong guesses. And he goes there. Justice Secretary. Women, I now do feel worried for you. The person in charge of justice lists as one of his top lads. Sex pest and drugger Bill Cosby. What is the deal with drugging the women? Yep, as to the top male role model, of course he went. He went, first of all, he goes for Nelson Mandela. I can also do one of those impressions. Not going to do. But then went, before I forget to ruin my career, Cosby. Brilliant. So I just wonder how many other conversations he's had like this that we didn't hear about. Do you know what I mean? Like when Keir Starmer was saying we need to smash the gangs. Do you think he was going, right, just the people smuggling gangs? There are some gangs that I wanted to be in. What was that gang I wanted to be in? I wanted to be in someone's gang when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? He's a treat, isn't he? He's an absolute treat. Lammy went there like he had the audacity to wear that awful suit a few weeks ago. MC Kills is here saying, bet Lammy meant saying that. If he understood that joke, I'd give you a tenner. Joodles. OMG, did bra just get censored? Are you telling me YouTube doesn't let people talk about bras to me? I don't want to live in a world where people can't talk about their bras. That's not what my ancestors fought for. Oh, it's literally not, is it? Speaking of which, Comdom visit KO'd. a headline that means nothing. But a suspected sex tourist with 100 condoms in his suitcase was turned away by border officials. They didn't like the look of him. So this is going to Colombia. I suppose 100 is quite a lot. Is it? How long was he there for? It doesn't matter, does it? I mean, he'd have to be there for quite a while to get through 100. But I don't know if this is evidence enough that he's a wrong'un. Because he's a man. And we are, when it comes to matter of the sex, relentlessly optimistic. I think it doesn't make any sense, does it? Sometimes they'll be like, well, yeah, probably going to get through these on a busy weekend. Hi. Not a chance. This is the thing I always think when you get those stories of spies, those honey trap scandals where someone got some secret documents because they flirted with an MP or something. And you see the picture of the MP and they are an absolute butter-faced uggo, an absolute ham sandwich of a bloke, right? And somehow this stunning model level Russian woman is like, yeah, I like you very much. And our brains just got it. Still got it. Yep, sleeping with this Russian woman, and she loves what I got to offer. She's a little bit kinky. She wants to, wants to indulge in the dirty talk. Things like my mother's maiden name, name of my first cat, street I was born on, dirty stuff like that. But I think she loves a bit of it. We are relentlessly optimistic. Yes, good point, proper memes. Like Lembit Ozempic. He does put you off your food. I'm joking. I work with him on BBC Kent. We're great friends. And Cheeky Girls, credit where it's due. Do you think the Cheeky Girls were spies? If they were bad spies because they pulled Lembit Opik. And again, not being harsh to him, he always carries a harmonica in his pocket in case there's an opportunity to give it. And basically, so do I. Bonnie Blue's PA gets turned back at the border. Yeah, that's true. 100 for her it's barely an afternoon, isn't it? I'm not sure what he was planning on using them as prophylactics. Oh, do you think it's a smuggling thing? Still, that's quite a lot, isn't it? I've never tried it myself. Right, keep them coming. Move on to the next one. Keep them coming. That's what the tourist said. Trust ban as monk film too religious. Again, they try and get the headline to say what the story is, and they really don't until you've read the damn story. National Trust bosses stopped a documentary about a saint being filmed at one of its sites because it was of a religious nature. You wouldn't want that, would you? At one of its sites. And the site, Catholic Christian Holden, was shooting a biopic about the 7th century monk St. Cuthbert. Obviously, we all know about St. Cuthbert. But his remains are said to be in a cave near Belford in Northumberland. And they were like, yeah, we can't do that because of its religious nature. Well, then who else is going to film there? Also, do you realise, you can see the quote down here. I can't feel. Oh, yes. This is scandalous. Religion's a protected characteristic. That's not the quote I was thinking of. But anyway, they said they couldn't do it. They don't want anything to do with religion. That means that those caves in Northumberland would refuse to do the filming of a remake of Sister Act. Come on. If you're stopping Whoopi Goldberg doing a sequel, then you're on the wrong side of this debate. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't want people to film near the monk if they're doing it in a religious way. Lizzo, no to Lembit Ozempic. The jab is erasing big girls. Maybe she didn't say it like that. Big girls. Maybe she didn't say it. Maybe she did, I don't know. Pop star Lizzo has claimed plus-size women are being erased by Ozempic. Not just by Ozempic. Heart disease, obesity, bad knees. Things like, the Truth Hurts singer. Feels like you started it by mentioning Truth Hurts. Has lost weight in recent years, but she said she's still a proud big girl, championing body positivity. I'm sure you are, because if you were just like another random normal singer, maybe I'm saying you might not have the USP that you have. Do you know what I mean? So there's something in it for you. I think if Adele was modern-shaped Adele before she was Adele, before she was famous, if Adele was as she is now, you would have been like, oh, there's another person who can sing. Whereas it was kind of like, oh, look at this thing we can write about in the newspapers. We got scammed by Adele. Do you realise that? Absolutely hoodwinked. Look, there's someone who doesn't fit the normal presumed shape of famous women. You give her a bit of money, plays Vegas. Look at that, straight back down. Oh, interesting. The fact that Joodles has said, "Oh, good Lord, Emma," means I need to go back to what Emma said. Emsicle says, Lembit used to be my counsellor. No way. As in local counsellor, or did you seek his advice on stuff? Don't seek his advice. No. I don't believe it. I don't know why I thought I had my glasses on. I've not worn glasses for like 15 years. Theology Corner. Maybe we need a jingle. And me winked, says Chris Hood. Did you? Impressionist Corner. That's not a bad. Now, I'll probably never doing the Cosby one again. For obvious reasons, because I've got more sense of to how to maintain a career than David Lammy has. See also Susan Boyle. I don't think I can do a Susan Boyle impression, but I'll give it a crack. All right, I better keep cracking on through these. Speaking of that, oh, I like this story. There she is. This is a singer, Liberty X Jessica in Speed Case Win. Liberty X star Jessica Peterson beat a speeding charge after hiring lawyer Nick Freeman, Mr. Loophole, right? And we don't really know how. She was doing 28 in a 20, which I guess percentage-wise is quite bad, but also seems slow, doesn't it? But and they dropped the case. And the prosecutor said, we will be offering no evidence for various technical reasons, and that's all we know. I do think it would be amazing to be Jessica's lawyer. And it's a shame the case didn't go ahead. Mr. Loophole must have been like, I don't get in on this. Because at some point the prosecution would have said, like, objection, that's hearsay. And he could have gone, no, that's Liberty X. Hearsay are the ones who won. Get in! Oh, having one of those in there and just waiting to... You're all blocked up until you can get a joke like that out. You know what I mean? Has anyone seen Larry Ents? That's a good point. I'm not sure how we can do it in video. We should have a look at that. We've done the fish one. Oh, there's only one story left. So, let's go in on it. An island on the Thames is sold for less than £100,000 3 years after a documentary star bought it for £500,000. That's good. That'll keep inflation lower. Hallsmead 8. Is that how you say it? That's probably how you say it, isn't it? Hallsmead 8 was owned by this entrepreneur who wanted to move away, sold it for 98, is it? Yeah, we are. And he said, there is something very lovely about turning up to your own island. And I agree. And I'll just say, I bought a cheap AI webcam because of the kind donations of people on Ko-fi. You can also subscribe on substack.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. And thanks to your kind generosity, I've now bought a cheap webcam. And it asked me on Ko-fi, what's the next goal? And I think the next goal could be, this podcast needs its own island. For just £98,000, we could have an island. I could have an island. It's a vague we. We could buy an island for me. So remember, give whatever you can give, but do give. And I don't know if there's any power on this island, so there might not be a podcast afterwards. It's fine. We just go quiet, and I'd have my own island. And it's reachable. Do you know what I mean? So that's my latest crowdfunding goal, is to try and buy my own island. I'm not sure if anyone on Ko-fi has ever put that as their goal, but I'll see what I can do. Right. Thank you for all of these. Susan's album party was... yes, those are the days. I was disappointed when I turned up to that party. That's what Jeffrey Epstein said. It's just a great thing to have printed on a bracelet. The proper meme says, he wanted to turn it into a wellness retreat, but sounds like he didn't get planning permission. The island only had mooring, nothing else really. We could work with that. It's in Berkshire, so it's not like you don't get phone signal. So I could go on the island and just do this on a phone, can't I? We can do this, guys. We can, and you would be allowed on my island. Sometimes. Have you heard of the village of Imber? We could do it like that. You're allowed to the island 2 times a year. You're allowed to make a pilgrimage to Stephen Allen Almost Daily Island. Good? No? Okay. Well, I'm just floating it out there, which is what you have to do when you live on an island. we are up to date with all of the things. We should do some plugs, I suppose. I didn't get to use as many of the jingly stuff. There's no side cam. We need to do this. Not that this will take long, because I don't have a lot. My own island sounds the dream. Introverts, yes. Never get it the right way. Plugs. On Wednesday, GB News reviewing the newspapers. On Friday, gig in Winchester. Okay. Well, look, I clearly need to spend more time looking for work. I'll see what I can do. I'm sure I'll be able to get some... I'm free on Saturday if anyone's got a stand-up gig. See, I think that's how that happens. I'll check my diary. Also, you can find more of my work weekdays from 1 on All Hit Radio. I'm making sure the material doesn't overlap. So after this, when it gets to 1 o'clock, if you want some songs from the 80s, 90s, and today, you can tune in. Just shout at your smart speaker, play All Hit Radio, and it'll do there. Proper Meme says, "Hi, I'm in Winchester." Fast show. Is that a joke? Is it a reference I don't get? There are some good motorway services there, so I'm quite happy about that one. Time to bring out my Gilligan's Island meme with Steve and other headliners. And are we going to welcome the new sidecam? It should arrive on the 28th. I then need a little bit of time to get to bond with it, because you can't just rush into these things, can you? You've got to let it imprint on me, and it will track me, apparently. It will be over there, and in theory, regardless of how I move, I'll always be centre of the shot. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. And it's obviously clearly already been pre-hacked by China, so we'll see. But it's not like that webcam where I had to put a towel over it. Because that looks dodgy as well. Someone comes in the office like, "Why are all the cameras covered by towels?" Shut your face. It covers itself. It looks away, which is what you need, isn't it? Proper Memes, the sidecam release party with Susan Boyle. Not as much fun as the last party. They said bring a bottle. I thought, why? What am I meant to do with that? Can she pull the cork out? Bonding and a wipe down. Well, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I think we're all thoroughly up to date. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your participation. How long have we done? 37. That's a tasty amount. Do me a favour, and if you've not subscribed to the YouTube, then you're dead to me. No, sorry. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, then please subscribe. That's the way to do it, isn't it? You can also, on the comments on the live thing are good. No way. Real Besties just turned up. Would you just here for the intro and leave at the end? Fair enough, if that's what you're into. But yes, hit the like thing. Subscribe, like. I don't know what else to do. You know what to do on YouTube, don't you? Just click and put a comment under the main video after it's been processed, and then YouTube thinks, hang on, this isn't all waffle about bras, which it would be wrong about. Obviously, YouTube does turn this into its own captions. It knows all the words that I've said, so that's probably why I'm struggling. But so you can go and do that, and then share it on social media and whatever. Thank you very much for your participation. Real Bestie, Thursday at 12, we'll do another one. Make sure you get back here on time next time. Yeah? None of this 35 minutes worth of doing a wee or whatever you just did. Charlotte says thumb it. Good advice. But also, while you are here, do that on the YouTube thing as well. I think we're up to date. Flick it, says Proper Memes. All right, we're just making suggestions now. This is the kind of thing that will make my webcam look away. You're up to date. Sorry, I'm tapping the pen again. I get carried away. It's titanium. It's a very good pen. We should flog these. I'll put that over there. And emails to me at mrstephenallen.co.uk. I think we're done. I bet you say that to all the boys, Charlotte. Steady on, old girl. And I'll be here for the reading of the register. How did you know I was on a... Anyway, the point is, we're done. Enjoy yourself. And until next time...